Hey everyone, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Haven Cottage Event Center. Alright, it is opening this spring in McKinney. Well, what's an event center? Oh, I'm glad you asked. It's an awesome place to host any small to medium sized occasions. What? What kind of occasions, you ask? Business meetings, art exhibits, receptions. Literally, just call or send an email and I bet your event would be approved. Their phone number and email is all in the description down below. Haven Cottage Event Center. Enjoy the high notes of life the right way.
One more podcast. It is time for another one. One more podcast.
All right. Hey everybody. Welcome back to the One More Podcast. I am your host, Yuval, and I'm here with two lovely people. We've got the Evans.
Hello.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Evan.
Hi, I'm also Evan. We've been here once or twice before.
No, not that many
Like 3 or
times.
4 times.
More like half a time.
What?
We probably did like half a podcast together and then...
That is not what happened.
And then we
At all.
basically just broke all of Yuval's equipment.
Yeah, pretty much. And I got really pissed at them and then...
Wait, what?
Long story short, I haven't seen these guys in like 6 years.
We didn't break anything, dude.
Yeah.
What the hell, man?
Anyways, we're here to chit chat and talk. If
I'm about to break some equipment.
Please don't break my equipment.
I won't. I'm sorry. That was disrespectful.
I have to spend money on a camera, and it's irritating me because I'm just
Just get a GoPro and tape it to your head.
No,
Give
that
them
is-
the Uval cam.
That is the true podcast
No,
experience.
that would actually be really funny. Is we have just a over cam,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then everyone wears a GoPro, and then we swap to the Evan cam, and then the Uval cam.
Just
Oh
get
my
a ceiling fan and
Yeah.
then tie the GoPro to one of the blades and
Yeah.
just get that sweet spinning angle.
Oh man,
Yeah.
No, but
that would not be nausea-inducing at all.
that definitely wouldn't. I mean, if you want to test yourself, test your limits.
Yeah.
Go for it. So
Then you can just make it a clickbait viral video of just a spinning camera and people will
1
be like,
hour spin test.
yeah, exactly. And people will be like, oh my god.
People would eat that up. It's true.
Honestly, it baffles me just the crazy challenges and stuff that people do.
It's so dumb.
It really is. Well, I think the Tide
I mean,
Pods-
it's not-
is it a
it's not
challenge
really
or
a
is
I
it
know. I don't even
become
think it's a
meme?
challenge. I It's think not. that's just
It's
idiots.
just it's
Because I know they have the they do the cinnamon. Well, that's old. The cinnamon challenge is old. What were some more recent challenges? I know that there's some.
I
Oh,
really
there's
don't
one.
know.
It wasn't like a challenge, but it was like a trend that people would do. And so they would just record their friends, and then they would just say really mean stuff to them, and that was apparently a thing that people would do, and they would just post it online. So I
That's
know that was
fucking
really-
dumb.
Yeah, it was really stupid, and I was like, that's really mean and hurtful. But I guess I don't know if you're all having fun and stuff like that, then it wouldn't necessarily matter. But anyways. Yeah, I don't want to buy a camera, but I kind of have to because if everyone wants to see our beautiful faces, then I have to invest some money into a camera. It's just too bad that there aren't $2 cameras.
yeah. That would sure be
That'll
nice.
actually have a decent quality.
Yeah, right. Instead of just potato quality. So,
Yeah.
Anyways, so I had some topics and stuff like that, and if I'm going to be honest, I kind of forgot some, and I didn't write them down. But one
Nice surprise.
Yeah, right. Big surprise. That's why Evan, you were asking me is what topics? I was like,
surprise him.
We have topics.
No, I mean I do. I
Yeah.
have a couple. I just I need to get in the habit of writing because one thing. Do you guys dream a lot? Do you have dreams?
Occasionally.
Evan, do you have dreams?
I'm gonna
Say no.
agree with the occasionally.
Occasionally, okay. So recently, I've been having some really interesting dreams. Nothing weird or deep or dark or depressing or anything like that. Just kind of odd dreams that you're just huh? Why am I thinking about that? So last night, I remember I had a dream that Creed Bratton. I was sitting in a lunchroom with him, and we were just talking, and he was just having a regular chit chat, and I was just like, hey, I really loved you in the Grassroots. And he's like, oh, thanks, man. It was a really good band. And I was like, yeah, you had some good music. And then he was just talking about some I think he was talking about his recent tour that he was doing because I follow him on Twitter, so I know he's doing a tour. And I was like, yeah, I really want to see you. Why don't you come to Dallas? And he's like, oh yeah, man, maybe. And it was the most benign conversation ever. And I was just I don't know. And then I've had a couple similar ones like that where I'm just kind of like, well, what? It's not like I'm thinking about Creed Bratton all day every day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys have any kind of weird dreams like that?
I always forget mine within like 5 minutes of waking up.
Yeah. You see, I was gonna say that I also have tried to get in the habit of writing them down.
Yeah, right. As soon as you wake up, just writing it down first thing.
Yep, but it's like I don't know because I actually had like a legitimate idea for it was like a movie or something like that, like a movie concept, and I dreamed about it, and it was really good, and I mean honestly, it like kind of made me tear up like in the dream sort of, and so when I was woke up, I was like, okay, I gotta do it, and then I didn't write it, and then like 10 minutes later, I was like, wait, what was I doing? What was I dreaming about? So, yeah, I don't know. It's just dreams are weird, man.
They are.
Dreams are weird, man.
Weird. Anyways, not the topic. That was totally not related to what I was going to talk about. But I just had a exchange of words with someone from, I guess, Northwestern Mutual or something like that. And they were talking about like getting your financial stuff all ready and being all secure in insurance and blah, 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 and whatever. So I don't know. And it was really interesting because the stuff that she was talking about and the points that she was trying to get at in terms of how I need to prepare myself and what I can do for like life insurance and other types of personal insurance and stuff like that, really got me thinking. Because like I've always been, I don't know about you guys, but I've always been like the kind of guy that'll check my bank account constantly, and I'm like, I'll open up the app and I'll just look at it and just make sure from a few hours ago that nothing has changed, even though I've been sitting at my desk at work or something like that. So, are you guys really into your finances and stuff like that?
I pay attention to them, but I'm not. I don't check like every couple hours. I'll check.
Well,
in
no,
like
I will admit I'm kind of an oddity, but
and no, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I really should check it more frequently, but right now it's like every couple days.
Mm-hmm.
I'm usually like 3 or 4 times a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's just I don't know. Like, have you guys so one thing that she was kind of going at was being prepared at such a young age and stuff like that. And so, growing up, has that ever been kind of pushed on you to be financially knowledgeable and stuff like that, of bills or savings or whatever, or even investing or anything like that?
I mean, investing is hugely important, just
Sure.
kind of as early as you're able to, because it's just the way that that's set up. It's going to pay off more in the long term. So the
Sure.
earlier you start off on it, the greater the windfall is going to be.
Evan, you were going to say something? No, I agree. I agree entirely. I just, it kind of surprises me how how little people like actually pay attention to that. Mm-hmm. So, Evan, were you going to have anything?
I've kind of just picked up a lot of my random financial habits and knowledge. Like, no one ever really took the time to teach me.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I've kind of just now picked up the fact that I should probably, like, open a credit card just to make good credit.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, buy a fucking soda with it or something.
Sure.
And just, like, build my credit. And I just now thought of that at 22. Like, oh my God, that's a good idea. I can build some good credit with it. And it's like, wow, if I had done that when I was, like, 16 or 17, that'd be fucking great.
Well, like, so, because, and I guess there's just a large group of people, and I would assume it's just kind of the older generation, is they just don't trust credit cards because of the whole Great Depression and stuff like that. And I guess that, mentality is sort of passed down. And I think we're kind of at the point where we're on that edge where, for me personally, I'm essentially solely on credit, essentially. So, I've every year or so I'll like try and do a credit extension and stuff like that, and keep pushing that. But I mean, I treat it just like a debit card, and it's not like I'm going out and spending thousands of dollars on just like, ooh, I want to have a mini golf cart thing and whatever. So, but because it was kind of cool in the Centennial in high school, we had a class that was dollars and cents or something like that. It was dollars and cents, or I'm pretty sure it was essentially kind of preparing you for the future. And the jokes and stuff like that online where they're like, I don't know how to write a check, but good thing I know the Pythagorean theorem. oh boy, or I know that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, which honestly I find that astounding that like that's like a universally known thing that just you go anywhere on the internet and you say, hey, what's the powerhouse of the cell?
Mitochondria.
And then everyone just like that.
Alternatively, the midichlorian is the powerhouse of the force.
That's good. I like that. But yeah, so it's like you see those jokes and stuff like that. But this class was unfortunately I didn't take it just because of how my electives and my class and stuff panned out. But I was told that you go through do mortgages and stuff like that and learn how to kind of manage your wealth and I don't know if they go too into like investment and stock market stuff like that, but definitely writing checks and blah 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 and like just day-to-day financial dollars and cents, and so I think that's really interesting that and I mean Frisco was a relatively affluent area and there was it was nice and they had the money to have this off-campus building. So do you know in Plano, did you guys have anything kind of similar to that or like a tax class or something?
There was a class at ours for it, yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't take it. I didn't have time, but there was one.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it existed. I never heard anything about it. I don't even know anyone who took it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Same.
Well, so I don't know, and it's like it's that mentality where I think you push it off until you're 30 or 40, and then it's like, oh, now I have to be saving, and now I have to be doing all this kind of stuff.
And then it's late.
Yeah, it's like because it's honestly it's really crazy. The compound interest and stuff like that, and how you can, essentially double and double and double your money. In one of my finance classes, we were going over these examples, and sure, it was kind of, not necessarily super realistic, but like you can modify the problem so that it would become realistic. And just the amount of money when Joe Blow puts money in when they're 25 and puts $500, every other month or something like that. How much money will he have when he's like 35? And it's like a lot of money based on, your certain interest rates and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think it's just fascinating how we kind of have a and I'm not trying to crap on our generation.
Yeah, no, of course not.
But how it's just everyone's like, oh yeah, because I don't know. Did I bug you guys about acorns at all?
No.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. All right, here we go. Let's do a quick little sponsor spot here.
Okay.
They were not sponsored by Acorns, but okay. So pretty much, Acorns is essentially a investment account that you can put money into. They're primarily mobile, so you just download an app, and if you sign up, you can just start putting money. And you don't choose where your investments go. You can modify how strong your portfolio is, so you can have a very conservative to very extreme portfolio. So depending on how much you choose will determine where your money goes. So like I have the extreme setting, so I think it's like 40% is in emerging markets, 20% is in large company stocks, 20% is in small company stocks, and they divide it that way. And you just it's these electronic traded funds, and they're sort of similar to mutual funds. I don't really want to get too into it because I know you guys are super enlightened. And
I'm really interested.
Oh, you are?
No, I'm
okay.
like super interested.
I don't know if I'm bored.
Please
you guys
continue. No, please continue.
Oh, okay.
I'm not bored. I'm just
Be honest.
Puzzled as to why, not to why you would use this, but why you would use it over a lot of the other equivalents that are available, because there are a lot of ways to invest your money in a sort of thing like this.
And this is not the only revenue source, or not revenue source, but not only the only financial way I'm trying to make more money. Because I did open up some investment accounts and stuff like that, and tried to play the stock market and whatever. But essentially, how they structured this app, and I'll get back to the portfolio stuff in a second. But how they structured this app is it's like a savings account. It really is. The money transfers in and out. It's not as liquidable as just a traditional banking savings account.
But it is a lot more so than like an investment fund or something like that.
Sure. Like it's,
I'm guessing.
I think the turnaround, depending on, how the market's doing and stuff like that, The turnaround, I've seen it as short as just a couple days, and then the longest I've seen it is maybe like 5 to 6 days. But if you're all on credit, then you get a month to pay your statement off, so you're never gonna like, oh, I need to take out money.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm worried if I can't make the deadline. But anyways, so you put money into it, and then they have these electronic traded funds, which essentially, like I said, are kind of like mutual funds, where you can have you put money into it, and you don't have to like buy a whole stock worth or whatever. You can have percentages, and you can have discounted or not discounted, but like partial ownership of this electronic traded fund. And so you just put money into it, and you can set a reoccurring investment. And they actually have this cool. I don't use it just because I manage it separately, but they have like they call roundups, and so you just link your credit card or debit card to it, and
it'll take the change.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So if you do like $3.25 or whatever, it'll put 75 cents, and so. And then once you hit $5, it'll invest that $5 into your account. So
my Bank of America does the keep the change thing.
Yeah, keep the change, put it into your savings.
And it's built a lot.
Like, oh, really?
Yeah, I've had the account since like 2012, 2013 probably is when I opened it. And it's keep the change is like equated like $600 at this point.
Wow.
That's really awesome. It's literally just the change cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like if I get something for $1.99, like that's a fucking penny.
There you go.
Like it's actually really nice.
Yeah, there are a lot of ways
because it's not like you're making money, but it reorganizes the money the spare change. Yeah,
yeah, of course. And it's not like no, I'm very much pro anyway because and I think that's the huge issue that we have is just like a lot of people are. I think the idea of investing is like such a scary monster.
I agree.
That like, oh, I don't know where to start. Oh, do I set up an account what about my retirement account? Do I set up a Roth IRA? Do I set up just a traditional IRA? What do I do for this thing? Oh, this is really
We need to talk more about this because I have no clue what to do.
Oh, yeah, dude. Well, so I was kind of linking back to the original point of the story. So this woman, we didn't match. We connected on LinkedIn. And so she was just like, hey, I work for Northwestern, blah, blah, blah. I love meeting new people and getting connections and stuff like that for the business world. So let's sit down and, talk, whatever. So, but yeah, literally I just was talking to her for an hour and then she was like, okay, well, how much do you make? And then how much are you spending? And what are your expenses? And blah, blah, blah. And she said she was going to like send me an email with essentially this template that breaks down my expenditures and you can modify it and stuff like that. But then you can kind of get a nice view of how your money is being spent and, set goals and blah, blah, blah and all that kind of stuff. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I ranted for like a million.
No, that's fine.
I think it's super important because a lot of people will, in high school at least, I know a huge chunk of my high school friends, they're like, I have a savings account and a checking account, and that's about it. And I was like,
that's me.
You need to, like, I think I actually just recently, I had do you guys use the Facebook memories or whatever? Where it's
Not
like
really.
on this day you posted this.
I've seen them, but I don't know.
Okay, yeah. So I'll have some every now and then. And so I think like a couple weeks ago, I saw my post about posting about acorns a year ago, and yeah, and I mean it's like because inflation's a thing, and if your money is everybody listening and you guys listening, and literally everyone, if anything out of this stupid rant you take from. Money just sitting in your savings account is not making you money unless you have like 75,000 plus and you have the preferred tier where you're getting like
actual interest.
Like like not necessarily like 0.01%, but you're getting like 0.05% or something like that. Yeah. Unless you have a large amount of money, you can't just let it sit there because it's devaluing and you're losing spending power. So have it. I've seen on my acorns. And it's actually this past few months, it's gone like high percentages. But traditionally, I would have it around 2.5% return on a lot of money. But I think now, actually, I'll check real quick. Plus, the app is like super easy to use and it's pretty intuitive. So, but let me verify. But I think, let's see, I've got from since the beginning.
How much money do you keep in there?
I'm not going to disclose that. Sorry.
Yeah,
that's
a
fair.
good point.
I'm not gonna. And it just partially, it's like I don't want to brag and I don't want to like say, because I think with money it's just that's another thing real quick. So within the past month I've grown about 4%, which is really nice, but overall it's like 3% since the beginning of time. But anyways, that's one thing that sometimes I'm okay with, and then other times it's not. Like in your job, I think, because I watched do you guys watch Adam Ruins Adam Ruins Everything?
No.
I'm familiar with it, but I haven't watched it at all.
Are you familiar with it at all, Evan?
No.
Okay, so it's like, do you know College Humor?
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the guys from College Humor, he broke off and did his own thing, and he developed a show called Adam Ruins Everything.
Okay.
Him being Adam, and so he takes a bunch of myths and accepted truths and all that kind of stuff, and essentially says, well, is that really fact? So one that really is kind of not necessarily eye-opening, I'm not trying to say I'm like woke after watching this, but was like the medical industry. He said that essentially boiling it down to just brass tacks, which I think is kind of funny. I've been saying brass tacks recently, and I don't know, it's kind of a nice phrase.
I like it.
Anyways, boiling it down to just the bare minimum. The reason why hospitals are so expensive is because they can, and that's it. It's not because the equipment is expensive.
Yeah, no,
it's not
yeah,
because of the doctors. It's just because there is literally, and I forget what they call it. It's like a book. I forget the name of the book, but there's just a digital book now. But in the past, it was actually a physical book that says, "Oh, you want some Advil?
Yeah,
well, we bought it for $2, and we're going to charge you."
It's a fee schedule.
Yeah. So
we work with that at our job. It says, "Oh, are you getting a teeth cleaning? Oh, well, it costs X."
Yeah. So over the years, it's just become inflated, and then based on like insurance carriers, they have to meet a quota, and that whole thing's a separate deal. But it's like, if we and obviously I'm not a medical expert or a finance expert, but I feel like if we take a step back, let's reset insurance and reset, because and I'll tangent on real quick just because
I have a tangent in a second here.
Oh, sure, go for it.
Oh God, okay, this is a work story.
Okay,
that this conversation reminded me of. This was actually a couple days ago. I forgot to tell you about it.
Okay.
This lady calls in, just having come back from the dentist, and she's like freaking out. She's like, she calls in. I'm not going to disclose names or anything like that, because I like pulled up this dentist and like looked at their reviews and shit.
Yeah,
fucking scary, like actually scary. So she goes to the dentist just to get a regular exam, cleaning, X-ray. She gets into the office, and there's not even like a front desk. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just like a waiting room and a door.
Sure. I made a face for the listeners.
And there was like one reception, or like an office manager, and the dentist is the only people there. And one hygienist. And so this lady's already kind of like, okay, this is a little sus, a little sketchy. But she goes in, she kind of fights her gut feeling and goes for it. And the doctor takes her back there, or like goes over the payment with her, and she's like, oh, well, it'll be like $500. And it's like, for an exam, cleaning, and X-ray. And she goes, oh, well, you need a deep cleaning. Your gums are fucked up. And she's like, but you haven't even given me an exam. And she's like, trust me, I can tell, I'm a dentist. Like, I'm licensed. Trust me.
Wow.
And so the lady just, at this point, okay, first of all, at this point, I would have been out the door.
Sure.
I would have been like, no, you're sketchy as fuck. You're trying to overcharge me. Hell no, I'm out.
Right.
No, this lady obviously is a lot smarter and did not do that.
Sure, of course.
So she goes back, gets her deep cleaning, and then she asks the dentist, hey, you're going to bill this to my insurance, right? And she goes, yeah, of course. Yeah, we'll bill it to your insurance, but we need you to pay for it now.
Okay, wow.
This woman was an in-network provider, so that's not how it works at all
with
dental insurance. If they're in-network, the dentist always files the claim.
Sure.
and doesn't bill the patient until they get the payment from us first.
Sure.
That's how it's done.
Okay.
So she's like, no, you just pay for it and then you file the claim. And the lady's like, okay, fine, whatever.
Sure.
Pays the money, looks over her receipt, and she got charged $30 for a bottle of fluoride that she didn't ask for.
Nice.
Yeah. So she goes home. She calls the dentist back and she goes, hey, I think I'm going to call my insurance. And the dentist is on the phone with her and says, no, don't call your insurance.
What?
And she's like, okay, I'm going to come back to the office. I need to look at this receipt with you again. This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Goes back to the office, says, okay, I'm going to call my insurance so we can get this claim filed. And she's like, no, please don't call your insurance. No, just don't. Like, she's like, starts like begging this lady to not call her insurance.
What?
So she calls us.
Sure.
And I'm like, okay, honestly, that's straight up like basically insurance fraud from what I was seeing.
Sure.
And I looked up the claims on this file, and like there was a claim that the lady had paid for that the dentist also sent to us and has been paid for. And I'm like, that's like literally by the book insurance fraud.
Yeah.
Like straight up.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, ma'am, I need you to send us an email with all this information regarding your visit. Please file a complaint. We'll research into it. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
And that was just, you started talking about that shit.
That's
and
horrible.
I remember, yeah, right? Okay, I'm going to pull up the reviews, dude. And just read one off. It's fucking, it's like scary.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, I mean, that just makes me not like private practices now. I was trying to rag on hospitals. Oh, everybody sucks. That's the moral of the story. Just because it's like
at the end of the day, you just need to find the people who aren't scummy, and it's really a shitty situation at the moment, and there's no two ways around that.
Sure,
but you were talking earlier about like stepping back and like resetting health insurance and. Yeah, that would be all well and good, but this is a massive industry that we're talking about.
No, I understand,
almost literally dismantling.
Well, hold on. If you take a look at it, just pure by the numbers, one, we are spending out of all countries in the world, we're
obscene.
like in the top 3 or maybe even number 1 of like the percentage we spend on budget in terms of health insurance stuff. Like we are obscenely spending more money on health insurance than like any European country or Asian country or whatever. So that's one thing. So if we have this, broken, divided, subdivided crackdown where you have to be this expert to understand, how this works between insurance companies and how, hospitals work and how the government works and how everything works together, the legislation put into this, well, I think there's a problem. Same thing with like the tax codes. Same exact thing where it's like, you sit the reason why, and it was kind of interesting. My dad made this point, which I agree with. The reason why the taxes are so complicated now is because it's a job. The accountants that's what they do. That's their job. Is they know how to do it. So there's the reason why we won't ever have like this blanket flat tax or whatever, or this super simplified tax code. And Evan, we'll get you in a second.
No, you're good. You're good.
Is because you have lobbyists that say, well, if you give it a flat tax, then everyone can do their taxes, and now you won't need this so super intertwined weird tax code system. So, and I mean that's probably not the sole reason, but I think that's as a contributor is that that's just it definitely a job for people.
Keeps accountants employed, but at the same time, like, it keeps a large number of accountants employed, but that's not the only thing that can do.
I'm not saying
with a CPA certification.
Yes, I'm not saying like because you get rid of the tax code, then but you're gonna have. Accountants make.
There would be a lot of backlash.
Yeah, sure, and that's why you're not gonna have that. So Evan, what are some reviews?
Okay, this is just this fucked up gem from one of the reviews.
Go for it.
It's relatively short. Okay. Also, the dentist splashed water all over my face accidentally, which went in my eyes, up my nose, and my hair all over my cheeks, and said, "You're drowning," and laughed. Didn't say, "Oops, sorry," and wipe it away, just giggled. How freaking weird, rude, and awkward.
Wow, that was it?
Wow.
That was just, that's a chunk of this.
Oh,
geez.
Really long.
Yeah, it's a solid
several
4 or 5 paragraphs, yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is like you go behind the alley and then you go through a back door.
I don't know how places like this can exist.
I mean, you go to not wealthy areas and then you set up shop and then you scrimp by and then people will pay it, I guess.
I mean, it doesn't even necessarily have to be in a not wealthy area.
Oh, I mean, if it's
because it's like,
well, if they're charging that much for what at the end of the day is a cleaning, then yeah, there's probably going to be at least some money running around. My best guess.
All they have to do is just contract with the insurance carrier, and boom, they have patients. Because people will see, oh, hey, it's an in-network provider.
But that's hard. That's complicated.
It's not hard.
It's complicated.
You call our company, we send you paperwork, you make your office manager do the work, and then you're done.
Yeah.
But that's hard.
No,
it's not complicated. That's why we need to we need to fix the healthcare system. But anyways, if you want to look for a couple more of those reviews, I think that'd be kind of funny. Yeah, so restructuring, and not necessarily restructuring, but just doing a redo, because I think it's been we've let insurance companies and hospitals and private organizations like fiddle with prices and stuff for so long. There was actually I saw this video and it did a comparison between and this isn't like this is how it should be done. I just think this was an interesting point brought up. But it did a comparison of car insurance versus health insurance. And so essentially they were saying, okay, well, when you go to for your car, for the car insurance, well, what is car insurance specifically for? Well, if you go to a mechanic and get your oil changed, are you using car insurance? No. If you go to a shop and you need to get your brakes changed or whatever, do you use car insurance? No. The prices are cheap because then when you get into an accident for a severe injury / accident / whatever, that's when the car insurance comes in to play. Is when you do damage to other people, they're going to come in and step in for this other person to pay for their car.
Yeah.
Whereas with health insurance, you've got your checkups and your cleaning and your whatever and your physicals and your blah, blah, blah and your blood work. And like literally everything covers the health insurance. And so that's why you have these huge premiums and you have all these co-pays and stuff like that, is because they're trying to pay for all of this crap. So if we kind of restructure it where, and again, I'm not saying this is a guaranteed solution, but if we restructure it where we can lower the prices to the day-to-day stuff so that you have your x-rays or your blood works or your whatevers, and you're lowering that price to a reasonable amount where people would pay it, then if you get seriously hurt, you have to go to the ER, or you have to go to wherever, you're not going to have to worry about, oh, great, now my premium's going to go up, or oh, great, now blah, 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 whatever's going to happen, because, well, it's covered. It's covered, and you won't have to foot, a deductible or whatever other, BS that they try and throw at you. So not necessarily model it like the car insurance, because obviously, we're humans and we need more than just an oil change every now and then and whatever, change your air filters. But I think, did you find another one?
Go ahead, yeah.
Well, no, I was just gonna say I think there is a way. Again, I'm not an expert, but there's definitely a way that we need to change that system, because it's complicated, and it's like we recently in my company we did re-enrollment for health insurance.
Yep.
And so this guy who has done this for like, I'm assuming, I think he said he was like 30 plus years of doing like health insurance and blah blah blah. He's just straight up, yeah, it's a super complicated, it's difficult and blah blah blah. And if you have questions, please ask, because I talk to people all the time and they don't understand it, and hell, sometimes I don't understand it, and blah 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 blah, whatever. So if you have to have a trained professional to explain health insurance, I think something might be wrong.
Insurance is just too complicated.
Yeah. So
even dental is just way too much. Okay. Another solid 1-star review.
Solid 1-star.
This place is literally a scam. They did work on me before showing me any kind of treatment plan or informing me that they would be doing anything other than normal cleaning. By the time I see the bill, it's for a deep cleaning, quote unquote, that conveniently isn't covered by my insurance. And more than that, there's a clerical error showing that they can't even do math right and has an obvious overcharge.
Nice.
After getting a much better second opinion later that day, they refused to give me a copy of my treatment receipt, which they conveniently neglected to give me before I left that day, and have resisted giving me ever since, which is illegal. I only got it by visiting the damn place in person after several calls requesting that it be emailed to me and literally yelling at them for half an hour. And even then they refused to give me a physical copy, insisted on faxing, parenthesis, who does that anymore, in parenthesis, it to me. The hilarious icing on the cake is that they couldn't even succeed at that and faxed me 4 copies of blank/incomplete scans.
Nice.
Yeah, and then
That's really nice.
And then there is a response from the dentist.
Oh, I love responses.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, I'm not going to read the whole thing.
Sure.
But this patient clinically needed a scaling and root planning, which is a deep cleaning. Patient is upset because patient was self-diagnosing themselves with regular cleaning only because the regular cleaning is covered by their insurance company. Had the deep cleaning been covered completely, patient would not have had any issues. And then, just a little bit more. Patient was given her records in appropriate time without any refusals. This patient came in cursing, yelling, and screaming at our staff using foul language and made a huge scene. Now, which side are you guys on?
I don't know.
I think I'm with the patient on this one.
Well, because I get customer service. Like I understand how horrible it can be and how just like there are just people who think that they deserve the entire world and more. Mm-hmm. And so and it's hard because it's like it's just who said what first and what's truth. So, but honestly, if this lady was like yelling, cussing, screaming, then I think she's in the wrong.
I disagree. I don't think yelling, cussing, and screaming is the way to handle that, but I also don't think there's any way to be in the wrong when you're being literally scammed by someone who's licensed as a trained professional for medical stuff. And I know dental isn't crazy like medical shit, but it's a lot.
I understand, but like, okay, so like, from what you've gathered, is there just like one dentist there that?
It is just one dentist.
One dentist. Okay.
And it's funny because if you look at the page on the reviews, there are a couple of reviews that are like obviously fake 5 stars. Where it's like, this dentist was great. One review ever posted, no friends, just
really?
Like, yeah. Yeah, and there's like 4 of them.
You see, that's what I hate.
And they're all conveniently like in the same city too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like obvious that she's just like, "Hey, buddies, can you
sure
hit me up with that good review? All I have is 1 stars."
Sure. No, I just and that's my issue is like reviews for places and Amazon and whatever. I never know what is a planted review versus what's genuine reviews, and so I always get kind of confused and hesitant to purchase anything. But I don't know. I just think I think because I don't know the person and I don't know the place and I haven't been and I don't know what exactly is the true difference between a deep clean.
It's like a road trip.
Where is this place at?
Hold on.
Like
I'm not going to use a city, but I'll use a state.
Podunk state. Insert southern state here. Actually, maybe a northern state. I feel like it might be a northern state.
I think it might be like Florida or something.
Probably Florida.
While I was getting a deep cleaning, a Florida man was a
California.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who wants to road trip?
I mean,
go get our teeth cleaned.
Okay.
Here's my dental insurance.
We're in East Texas.
Yeah.
Do you know what is between East Texas and California?
Mountains.
The desert.
Well, sort of mountains, but with the route we'd probably be taking, what he said, nothing.
Yeah, let's go.
There is nothing.
Let's go.
Honestly,
we can play I Spy.
Even to get to...
I spy something orange. It's sand. Okay, your turn. I spy something orange.
Like even,
that's
even
also
to
sand.
Even to get to New Mexico from here is a solid 8-hour drive.
Dude, let's go to New Mexico then. Let's go to New Mexico.
No, let's.
Okay, it's better than driving to Lubbock, where the only thing you see is a plateau.
No,
you literally drive on flatland until you see.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, a mesa.
Yeah.
No, we need to take a trip to Indianapolis because driving to Indianapolis.
Let's go to Atlantic City.
I've driven around Indianapolis. I haven't actually been.
Dude, let's go to Gary, Indiana.
Where is that?
Jeez.
That's that one town that you always see Reddit stories about, where it's like this is the town where the cops pull you over if you don't run red lights because they want you to run red lights or else you'll get fucking carjacked.
What?
Yes.
I've never heard of this city before.
Just look up stories, man. Just Reddit search Gary, Indiana.
Okay. All right. No, but driving to Indianapolis is really pretty, so we can do that, and then we can go for
like up through Missouri and that kind of area. Yeah.
There was so there was
lots
a place,
of like hills and forests. It is really nice.
Let's go to Antarctica.
No. I don't hear what you said. What'd you say?
Let's go to Antarctica.
I don't want to go to Antarctica. That's far. Anyways, there's this place, and I think. Hold on, let me see if I can find the name. But it's. I want to say it's in Missouri. Hold on.
Can you give us more of a description than a place probably in Missouri?
Hold on. Okay, never mind. I think it's in Missouri. I don't know, but it's called like the Sawmill or something like that. And it is literally, and I do not mean figuratively, I mean literally the best buffet style food ever. Ever. It's so
better than Golden Corral.
Oh my
better
god!
than literally anything.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
Golden Corral's fucking gross.
Is it really? Is Scotty P's buffet place?
I don't think so.
No,
it's a
not.
sandwich shop.
It's
sure?
a hamburger joint.
Is it like a
I
yeah,
know
it
for
is
a fact it
hamburgers.
is a
It's Scotty
hamburger
P's
joint.
hamburgers. That's literally
Black
Yeah.
Olive? Is that a restaurant?
Black Olive, probably.
I mean, it's probably a restaurant, but
I
it's
just-
not one I'm familiar with.
I have like this vivid memory as a kid, and it's like I think it's somewhere in like South Plano-ish, near like the tollway. I think. I could be wrong because it was a kid memory, but it was like this all-you-can-eat buffet restaurant, and I thought it was Scotty P's, but I guess not. If it's not
Now, based on the two names you've given me, would it perhaps be Black Eyed Pea or something?
is that
It's the name of I've never actually been inside one, but I know it is the name of what I'm pretty sure confident is a restaurant.
okay? All right, so Black Eyed Peas then, because well, not peas because that's the band, but
Yeah.
I think that might be it because
Boom.
it was such good food, like, and honestly I think that and trying to think, maybe there's another one. What's up? Oh no!
Have you ever been to Burger Street in Plano?
No, what's that?
Oh jeez.
Oh my god, we gotta go sometime.
Is it just
It's
really
right
good
off
burgers?
of
Yeah, but is it better than
Alma
In-N-Out?
and
Huh.
no,
Is
it's
it better
not.
than In-N-Out?
Jeez.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, I'm just making a joke. In-N-Out's not that great.
Alma and Parker.
Yeah, Alma and Parker. It's near Madness Comics and
Yeah.
Games. It
Burger Street?
looks like an old like
Sure.
it's like a building from like the 70s or 80s.
Oh, okay.
Pretty cheesy looking,
Okay.
but it has really good.
Really?
Yeah, it has like
Is
like
that
a fast
you say
food,
your
like,
best
drive-thru.
burger joint?
No.
What's your favorite / best burger joint?
There was a place I went to in the Richardson area, Doug Burger.
Mhm.
And like the buns are like extra big, but they dig out the bread and
Oh,
they put
wow.
all the toppings and shit in there.
Wow. Okay.
And so it just fits right on top of the burger, nice and easy.
Nice.
And like they just had really good, quality ingredients.
Oh,
man.
really?
Yeah, that place was fucking nuts.
What about you, Evan? Best burger joint.
Yeah, I know the question. I'm trying to think
JC's
of
is
the
also
answer.
pretty good.
What is JC?
JC's Burger House.
I don't know.
There's a
those.
couple in this area.
Oh, okay.
They're pretty good.
All right. Cool. I don't know what the best burger joint is. I probably have to like think about it for like 20 minutes. Probably
think
I'll probably Google some burger joints and like.
As
did
far
I
as
go there?
like, I don't know about like necessarily like the best place, but as far as chains go, I'm partial to Fuddruckers.
I was about to say Fuddruckers is such
Fuddruckers
a
is
solid.
good.
I've never had a bad experience at Fuddruckers. I can
Same.
say without a doubt that, and honestly, Steak and Shake. And I know it's not
Steak
like,
and Shake
it's
is
not-
pretty good.
It's not like a super amazing burger, but
Yeah.
like for
Overall, it's pretty good food.
9 times out of 10 for the price that you pay and the
Dude,
convenience.
steak fingers, man.
Is that a thing?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
What is that?
That's
It's
what
exactly
Steak and
what it
Shake
sounds like.
sells.
What is a steak finger?
It's like a chicken finger, but with steak.
Yeah.
Is there really?
That is
Yes.
yes, it's actually
no,
a thing.
no, you're messing with me.
No, we're not,
I'm not messing
dude.
with you at
So
all.
it's like it's just
What's the other place that does steak fingers?
what is a steak
Dairy Queen.
finger?
Dairy Queen.
Dairy
yeah.
Queen.
It's just like
They look like really big fish sticks, but
They
they're
re-
steak.
They really do. Yeah.
So is it like ground beef or something, and then they
No,
cook
it's
it?
steak.
It's not like good cut steak, but yeah, it's
Interesting.
a step above ground
Literally
beef.
have never heard of
Dude, okay,
steak
we're
fingers.
going to Shake and Steak soon. We're gonna hook you up with
Shake
some
and
steak
steak?
fingers.
Steak
Yeah,
and shake.
Shake and Steak and
Shake
Shake.
and bake.
Wake
Shake
and-
and bake.
I don't know.
No,
Hamburger helper.
that actually is really good.
You know, it
Mhm.
really is.
I have.
Unless you're poor, then it's just helper.
That's, I guess, sure. Are you trying to make a racist joke here?
What?
But anyways, back to what we were talking about before about like insurance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Wow, what a tangent.
Steak
I
and
love
shake.
burgers, honestly.
Me too.
What about pizza? Real quick, before we get back on insurance, pizza.
Urban crust?
Urban Crust is in
Downtown
Denton somewhere.
Plano.
Oh, downtown Plano.
So good.
What about
But
you?
like fast food pizza, Papa John's.
Papa John's is such dank pizza.
Okay. I keep forgetting the name of the place, but it's actually just down the street from Urban Crust.
Oh, is it really?
It's on the corner of that same street.
Nice.
It's just this little like pizza parlor and bar. Basically,
I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name either.
And they just have a bunch of really odd topping setups. Like
they
they
have
have
like a Reuben pizza.
they have a Reuben pizza,
What is
and
that?
it is phenomenal.
Do you know what a Reuben is?
Yes, I know what a Reuben is.
Okay.
So they just make
You-
a Reuben on a pizza?
Basically, yeah. You take what you would put in a Reuben, you put it on a pizza. It's delicious.
Reubens have sauerkraut, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't like
And
sauerkraut.
what, corned beef?
Yeah, corned beef, sauerkraut,
beef,
and
yep.
then provolone?
Sauerkraut.
Or no?
And
Yeah.
Yes?
Thousand Island.
Some-
And
yeah,
onions.
Thousand Island dressing.
Mhm.
Copious onions.
Man, I want a Reuben now. That sounds delicious.
Oh
my
some rye
God.
bread. Yeah.
But no, there's
Ah.
a place it's like off of 121 and I think Independence, and it's like this kind of hole in the wall, just a small place. And apparently this guy like moved from New York to make New York authentic pizza. And I remember a few times I went there with my mom and we got like the Mediterranean pizza, and that is good stuff. I remember good things from that place. That's probably one of the best pizza places I've been. So.
That's dope.
But I will agree, Papa John's in a crunch is
Hell
there
yeah.
for you and will have good pizza.
And the pizza point system is pretty nice.
That is,
I
gotten a couple
really
free
enjoy
pizzas.
the free
Yeah.
pizzas. Yeah.
It's really nice, especially when they have like the deals where it's like buy $20 and then you automatically get a free pizza. And I was like, all right, you win, Papa John's.
Especially whenever like the Cowboys win a game and it's like 50% off.
Mm-hmm.
One of our buddies has an app that tracks those.
Oh, really?
So it'll
And
just-
typically it's for the Rangers as well.
yeah, for basically all the Texas teams that matter.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and he'll just like whenever we would hang out and all play Magic together, he would just check his app and there would be a code that hadn't expired yet, and he'd boom 50% off the whole order and get like 6 pizzas for like $40.
Did I tell you guys about the time we ordered a crap ton of wings from Papa John's?
No,
Oh, okay. So, in my, I think it was like my last semester, or second to last semester, at UNC, we had a afternoon class and then a night class, and so the class started at like 2 to 5, and then from like 6:30 to 9:30.
Yeah.
And so we'd have the hour and a half, and
To just
instead
chill.
of just chill, do homework, whatever. And so a couple people, we had the same class essentially, and so we were there, and we kind of got in the habit of, okay, one person orders this thing and buys lunch for everybody, and then the next week this person orders, buy lunch, and so on and so forth. But for 1 week, we were just like, we want wings. And then I forget if they've had Papa John wings, but honestly, I love Papa John wings. Best wings I've had like in a really long time, just because there's such a go-to in a crunch.
my favorite wings were the old. It was Pizza Hut Wing Street, and it was like the.
Are there
lemon-
not still a Wing Street pizza
I don't
thing?
know. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay.
But it was like the lemon pepper ones.
Yeah,
Because
those
it
are pretty good.
wasn't just like it was like actually like in an oil, so it was actually like a wet wing instead
Uh-huh.
of just dry rub.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was so good.
But anyways, so we had I think it was like a 50 or even like 60% coupon for Papa John's. It was just an entire order. So I was just like, what can we do? And we ordered like 60 wings, and it came in like this ginormous pizza box, and we had 4 dipping sauces. And oh my goodness, we did no dipping or what is it? It was just plain wings. They were just plain wings, and we had the dipping sauce for it. But oh man, like the meat just melts right off the bone. You bite it, and then you can like honestly, I'll just like suck the wing, and then it'll just there's all the meat is all there for you, and it's so good. I want wings now. All right, well, let's just go get food.
I mean, Wingstop's open till 1.
Let's just wrap this podcast up and get some food. No, Evan, we started working out.
Yeah, I don't see why we should really talk about that.
How is that?
And I don't want to have a conversation about it.
Oh, you don't want to have a conversation about it?
No,
Why
'cause
not?
I mean, if you go around telling everybody you're going to do something, you're not going to do it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's a thing.
So now you
That's
just ruined
definitely
it.
a
You ruined
thing.
it for both
All right,
of us
well,
already. Well,
Too bad. Everybody knows. And
back
so,
to being a lazy fuck. Thanks, you Paul.
in 1 week, if we don't
Well,
lose,
then again, you just told everybody you're going to be a lazy fuck.
there
so.
you go.
Well, I'll go
Expected
through with
from-
that one. that one's a surefire thing.
All right, so then in a week's time, we'll check back. I'm serious, 7. In a week's time, let's check back. Hopefully, we have both lost 10 pounds.
That's not happening.
That's
I think it is
a little
possible.
unrealistic.
I think it is not unrealistic to lose 10 pounds in a week. I think if you.
I think of just starting back. I think 5 pounds is semi-realistic, but
No,
I don't even.
pounds, yeah.
I don't even really think 5 pounds is that realistic.
No, because it was like I think when
I mean, it depends on how hard you go for weight loss specifically. With what?
Because we do cardio. We did the
sure.
beginning 10 to 15 minutes of cardio. Then we do abs, and then today we did legs, and then end with abs, and then you just do that every other night or whatever, however often you want to go hard at this. Then by the next week, I think it's not unreal to expect washboard abs.
Okay, now that's unrealistic.
But yeah, back to insurance.
Yeah, let's go back to that.
No, I don't know. I that was kind of my whole tangent there. So
Okay.
Man, can we stop talking about insurance though? I talk on the phone to people all day about insurance, and I didn't work overtime today, and this is overtime right now.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just
trying to
messing
bring
with
up
you.
horror stories of work for
I
the
just-
Twitch.
Ah!
I just wish we got paid for this overtime, but that's okay.
I mean, I don't know. When I start making money from, no, I'm kind of pissed because YouTube was like, "Hey, everybody, remember how we had this rule where if you want to get paid ads and stuff like that and sponsors on your videos, you just have to have like 1,000 views." But now they're like, "Oh, well, just kidding. Now you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 10,000 minutes viewed on your thing."
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, just like, wow, thanks, YouTube. Appreciate that so much because now instead of this actually trying to become, not necessarily a full-time job, but like support and pay a little extra, I cannot now. I'm still just doing this for free.
I mean, it just takes time, man.
I honestly, I would love if this could, because I did Mason ask you the question about what you would do if money was relevant?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that was
your answer. Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually acting and stuff like that
Mm-hmm.
because I super enjoy making YouTube videos and everything like that. But
Yeah.
man, I'm saying a lot. I hate it that I'm so self-aware about it. It's a filler. It definitely is a filler. There's this one kid, and I'm not going to disclose any names, but there's this one kid,
Fucking
and
Johnny.
yeah, you're right, you got it. But
John Doe. Done.
Mhm. Thank you. I use John Doe for like all my pizza orders. I love it. And because like yesterday, I was at my dad's and we ordered pizza, and which is weird, and I didn't know this is a thing, but apparently it happened before, and I forgot about it. Then I remembered it. But
Wow.
you call a Pizza Hut, and if they don't pick up, they will transfer you to a call center, and then the call center will put the order in for you, and then you can pick it up at the
Dude, I want to
location.
go work at that call center.
But God, I said it again. Anyways, I forget the whole point of saying the.
Every
pizza
time you
store.
say it, I'm just gonna say it louder.
Thank
So
you.
don't say it.
Oh, John Doe. So went to call them, and she just like, "Oh, is this order for John?" And I was like, I forgot that I used it, and she's like, and I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, John Doe, how are you?" I was like, "I'm good. How are you?" And I just feel like some people just don't get the joke because like that's the whole
It
thing.
was just way too nonchalant about it.
She was just like, yeah, and she didn't laugh or I mean, it could have been just a
I'm sorry.
Did I say
You did.
Golly, jeez, Louise. Okay. Anyways, totally blew that out
I'm
of
still
proportion.
gonna do it.
Good, please,
Okay.
please do.
I got you.
So there's this kid in middle school, and for presentations and stuff like that, and anytime he answered a question or whatever, the teacher called on him. The amount of times he said the word thank you. The amount of times he said that word, it was like you wouldn't even consider it, and then you like pay attention to actually how many times he says it, and you're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yep.
And it's just like this
In
two
an
sentences-
answer to a single question.
Exactly. So and I forget. I think it was my Dang it!
Yeah.
It was my
That's 4.
Dang it! Jeez Louise. All right, I'm just falling into a circle here. But in I think it was in high school, was one of my professors, teachers. God, I'm like totally. I should end the podcast now. I'm just done. I've totally derailed everything. Anyways, there was a teacher who it was like a speech class, whatever / help you build a resume class, and he definitely hammered it in that like to be self-aware of that saying the word and stuff like that, because he would deduct points from you if you said that word, and 2, he would every now and then call you out, and if you said it too many times, he's like, "Gosh, why?" or something like that.
That was really loud.
Yeah, it was really loud. So
that is one thing that the call centers made me a lot better at is I think out my sentences a lot better, and I don't use nearly as many filler words now.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm just a lot more conscious of what I say in general.
You are conscious of yourself.
Yeah, and like now, whenever I answer the phone, I just answer like a loser every time.
What is your...
Someone calls me and I'm like, "Hi there, how can I help you?"
Well, that's good. That's good customer
They're
service.
just like, "Evan, is this you?" "Yeah, what's up, man? How can I help?" "All right, man, I'll see you later. Anything else I can help with today, sir?" "Fuck off, dude."
So I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. Do you have any closing thoughts or anything wrapping up? Because we're kind of hitting that time.
Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, you've been very helpful. I really appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Do you get do people do you get told of your reviews and stuff like that? Your boss is like, "Hey, Evan, just
we don't have like a straight review system for that like the customers leave you.
Mm-hmm.
But our quality assurance team does reviews.
Oh, okay.
And then if a
that's right. I think you remember.
Yeah, and if a customer asks to speak with your supervisor and they're like really happy with you, then you'll get like $20.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Something you can get once a month.
I just get a pat on the back every time my boss is like, "Hey, you just got an email about a survey thing. You had
It's
5
not
stars."
easy. It's just not easy to get though.
I know, but
because it's like not only do you have to do a good job, the customer has to be like, "Wow, can I speak to your supervisor? You did such a great job," and no one ever asks.
So I think that's just a.
I think customer service in this country is bullshit.
Well, no. What I was gonna say, unfortunately, and I hate that like it's not a more outspoken method, but whenever people are really happy with customer service, because thank you, appreciate it. Jeez Louise, this is a horrible ending. Anyways, whenever I talk to Bank of America, probably one of the best customer service I've ever experienced in my entire life, ever. Every time I have a problem or there's I have to dispute a charge or I have a question or an inquiry or whatever it is, I call them. Always best customer service. I think those people are the only times I'll do a review, like how do we do the survey,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. And even then I'll do them half the time, but like they're the only time I'll do a review.
Yeah.
It's just because they're so awesome at it. And unfortunately, I hate the fact that that's not common practice. Because it's when you have a horrible experience, then you're gonna have to tell somebody. But
Yeah.
when you have a good experience,
You just don't say anything.
exactly. It's just that you did your job. I'm happy. Good. Okay. Bye.
Yeah, and my favorite is whenever like you have someone call in and they're really mad about something, and you fix the problem and do the job correctly, and then they're still an asshole about it. Like example, last week, shit. God damn.
See, it totally wrecks your train of thought.
Yeah.
This has been a
it
really
does.
fun game to spectate.
Last week, I got a call from this guy, and he was on the phone with me, and I'm stalling because I'm trying to form the rest of my sentences without saying the filler words.
Yeah.
But anyway, this guy calls me, and he's like, "Hey, I need this form," and I was like, "Oh, I actually, spoke with your wife like 2 hours ago. I already sent it over for you." And he goes, "Well, why didn't anyone tell me I needed this in the first place, like when I enrolled last month?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, I mean, that's not something we tell people. If you need this information, that's your responsibility to ask us that question."
Sure.
Like, I know it sounds kind of dumb. That's because it is kind of dumb, but that's
Right.
the rules I got to follow for it.
Sure.
Fuck. So this guy gets like super upset about it, and I'm like, "Dude, the problem's already fixed. Go check your email. Like, all you have to do is fill this 8 questions out and email it back to us. Takes 5 minutes, and then boom, we'll process it. You're done. You're good to go."
Yeah.
And this guy's like, just instead of that, he's like, "No, I just want to." He's just like throwing a fit, and he's just being a dick about everything. And it's like, man, like, this is literally the best customer service you're gonna get today. You have a problem, and it was fixed 2 hours before you knew it.
Yeah.
So there was never a problem.
True.
You just have to do your part like every other customer has to do.
BC, it's just people can never be wrong.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I had a guy today who called in, and he's like, "Hey, why can't I search for providers on the website?" So I pull up the website, and I search for providers, and I'm like, "Okay, well, mine pulled it up. I can just email it to you." And he's like, "Well, why isn't it working on mine?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know. What
You're not tech
browser are you
support.
using?
Yeah.
I don't know what computer you're using." And he's like, And he's like, well, why can't I pull it up? And I'm like, sir, I don't know. It could be an error with your computer. And he's like, no, my computer works fine. And I'm like, sir, why are you, like, I didn't say this, but I'm like, why is this dude getting defensive?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to help this guy. I could have emailed this to you, and you could have been off the phone a minute ago and been looking at your provider list right there.
But no.
But no, people can't accept the fact that they're wrong, especially because everyone feels like they have to talk down to people.
But I mean, I feel like that's more of over the phone they'll talk down to people, because
I agree.
I don't think I've ever seen in general, like 99% of the time, I don't think I'll ever see anyone talk down to someone across the counter or at in the check lane or whatever. Just
usually,
because,
yeah, it's
exception returns counters everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Because they want to return something and they're not going to get a return, and so they're going to throw a fit. I do agree. Yes.
No, I totally agree. People are a lot more willing to be assholes on the phone because you're not looking at them eye to eye.
True. You're just a robot.
Yeah,
Even
exactly.
If you're a person, you're a robot.
Exactly. People call in and they're like, this guy's going to fix my problem, and if he doesn't, I'm just going to yell at him until he fixes it. And it's like, well, that's not how it works, man.
Unfortunately, I have been the victim of that because, or not the victim, the perpetrator, I guess.
Come on, man.
No, and so, okay. So the situation
Trying
was
to make a living.
Well, no. Hold on. I think I was relatively justified for this.
Okay, go ahead.
Obviously, I'm not going to get into too specific of how horrible of a person I am, but so went to a shop and had to do some just regular. It was like an oil change and then tire rotation, and then this guy is like, okay, so hold on. Let me preface. Let's go back a little bit. So I go to this shop, Just Brakes. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, they just do Just Brakes. But then the manager, the general manager there or whatever, he was a mechanic for years and years and years, and so they do more. And so it was like oil change, tire rotations, inspections, and potential fixing, replacements, blah blah blah, whatever. So I talked to this guy, and probably one of the very few instances I formed this legitimate customer manager relationship where I'm just like.
You're like a regular.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're not just another person.
Yeah, exactly. Like, let me talk to this guy. I know him. He knows my name. I know his name. Blah, 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 blah. It's cool. So I was just there. And, they're relatively cheap prices. I knew he wasn't trying to hoe me over. And, we've haggled prices before. And, he's brought it down for me. So, geez. All right. Geez. Go there. Find out he's gone. He's left for whatever reason. So, but I'm like, all right, we'll go because I'm here. I want to patron this place. So patronize. Sure, we'll patronize this place, but patronize is to be like if you're
two
trying
different
to patronize,
meanings of the same word.
No, well,
basically.
So continue. We're gonna tangent. Continue, please.
Okay, fine. All right, sorry. I'll try and wrap this up.
So you're at this place.
At the place, and just doing just a regular whatever, and then an inspection and stuff like that. And so this guy is like. And I don't know this guy. And he's like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. It's recommended every 15,000 miles you do, like, this fluid flush, blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
yeah.
And then also you need to do, like, every 20,000 miles you need to do whatever. What is the term? Some kind of fuel injection flush or whatever.
Yeah.
And then every blah, blah, you need to do this other flush. And I'm like...
How much do those cost? 200 each. Oh.
And so I was like trying to look through and Google it and like figure, okay, is this, cause I'll, before even trying to do anything.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll say, can I do this myself? Is it whatever. So I was looking through and it's like, yes, it's like recommended to do that. But I mean, my Prius, I think has like almost 170,000 miles on it. And, it's totally fine. It's, I have no issues, whatever, I take relatively good care of it. So I was like, I've never done this. And I know my dad has never done this on the car before. So like, really, do I need it? And I end up caving and I'm just like, okay, if it's supposed to help my fuel efficiency and if it's supposed to blah, 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 whatever, fine. Sure. Why not? Whatever. So I pay for it and it didn't do anything. In fact, like it worsened my fuel economy. Like even to this day, I was getting, I think the average-ish was like 45 miles a gallon. I'm getting like barely 40 now. And it's just, it's so frustrating. So fast forward, it's been months now and it's like I've seen no improvement in performance. I've seen nothing to justify me purchasing that. So I talked to the guy, I called back and I was like, hey, look, I went to you guys and I did this thing. I have the paperwork and I nothing happened. And it's as if I just wasted money. And so this guy was like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. And and the reason why I was getting frustrated is because they weren't able to pull my car up, and they're like, "Are you sure it was this location?" I was like, "Yes, this is the location I've been to a bunch of times before." Apparently, they did some kind of swap in some kind of merger because now they're a Pep Boys or something like that, and so for whatever reason they had to swap that. Long story short, I end up yelling at the guy because he's not helping me. He's like, "Oh well." He's thinking like I'm some idiot who doesn't understand how a car works, and he's like, "Well, blah, 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 blah." I was like, "No, dude, just fucking like help me." And he's like, "Sir, if you're gonna curse at me," blah, blah, blah. I'm like, "Okay, now you're making me more pissed off because if you're really gonna focus on me cussing at you like that, we've got a bigger problem here." So yes, I was a butthole. Yes, I agree that I was could have handled it differently, but it's kind of one of those situations where I expect this to happen, and if you're not at least trying to help me get there, I'm gonna get irritated.
Yeah, no, and okay, I don't think you're justified fully, but I don't necessarily think you're a super bad guy.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, just because they did just kind of straight scam you, as shitty mechanics do.
And I don't know, because did they scam me? I don't know. Did they actually rotate my tires like I asked them to? I don't know. And they have like the window where you can see it, but then I'm doing other stuff.
No.
So I don't know.
But I mean, the point is they upsold you, which
sure, yeah. And I hate because I'm generally on top of it. It's like, no, I'm good. Just give me the $40 thing. Let's do an oil change, whatever. Because I mean that's relatively fair in price. But yeah, I don't know.
I think you're partially justified, but at the same time.
Sure. No, I'm a butthole.
There's just no point being a butt.
No,
like,
I
it's just something that just will get done a lot quicker, because whenever you're on the opposite end of that, you just go into panic mode. Like, because honestly, it just pisses me off when people do that. Like, because if someone's gonna sit there and yell at me, I have to sit there and be nice about it and take it, and that's okay. That's part of my job. I accept that.
Sure.
But if you call in and you're like, "Hey man, what the fuck? Oh my god, dude, this is fucking bullshit."
Yeah.
I'm right out the gate. I'm not going to want to put in as much effort to help you.
No, I agree. And
whereas if you call in and you're like, "Hey man, there's just this issue that I'm having right now, and I'm frustrated, but I understand you're just the messenger. I'm not going to take it out on you."
And that's how the conversation started. It's just it devolved, and as soon as I hung up the phone,
that happens. It just happens.
Right. So, but yeah. Anyways. I think that's a good spot to end on. Don't be shitty. Moral of the story,
just treat everyone how you want to be treated.
Yeah.
Just be good.
Any closing thoughts, guys?
Just be excellent to each other.
Last time we had closing thoughts, we went on a 15-minute tangent, so let's wrap it up.
All right. Fine. I hate when...
I can keep tangenting.
We can just tangent off of tangents.
Who came up with the word tangent? Let's look that up and go real deep into that.
I'm really genuinely curious.
I'm going to get up and leave now, guys. You have
Whoa, dude.
All right. Well, anyways, that has been One More Podcast, and I appreciate everyone sticking it out this far and listening to us bitch and complain about life, because this is the Millennial Bitch Fest podcast.
Yaga!
So, have a great day, evening, night, or whenever you're listening to this podcast.
Flocka!
And that is the end of the podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, this was brought to you by Haven Cottage Event Center. All right. You know the deal. You've heard the spiel. Just call them. See what kind of event you want to host at this location. Small, medium, whatever. It's all good. Businesses, friends, parties, whatever it is. Call, email, get it verified, do it, done and done. All right. This is coming out again, McKinney, late spring of this year. All right. Spring's almost here, man. Get it done. Peace out, everybody.
This is the end song. It is now over.